Hello again. Welcome to the shop. This is Randy. Today going to be working on the timing gear stud, and this stud, I laid out some lines on it. I don't know if you'll be able to see them. This is the total length of the stud. This is the thickness of the hex on the end. This area here gets turned down to 5/16, and there's a 5/16 fine thread put on here, and then the end of it gets turned down to 270 thousandths. And this area where I got to drill the hole for this lockout arm is going to pivot on there. It's going to pivot on there, and it's got to have a slot in it for this lockout arm. So the first thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp this in the mill vise, and I'm going to find center on it, and I'm going to drill this hole. So I'll get that done, and then I'm going to put the slot in this end, and then the rest of it will be turned on the lathe. Hope you can see that. Yeah, I think so. There's going to be a slot put in this side here. This has got to be drilled for a hole. There's a thread relief that's got to be cut here for the 5/16 fine thread. And the rest of this is going to be turned to 5/16, and this is going to be the total length of my bolt. Okay, I got this mounted in the vise, setting on a couple of parallels. I'm going to find center front to back, and I'm going to find this edge, and the hole needs to be located 157 thousandths from this edge right here. Okay, now I gotta move my z-axis over 100 thousandths. That'll put me right on the edge of my part, right there. Take a small center drill here. Now I got to come over 157. It should put me right on the mark here that I made. Looks like it. Okay. All right. I gotta take a 3/32 drill and drill all the way through. All right, now I got to get ready to cut the slot. Okay, I just touched off the top of this with the end mill, so I'm going to come down 20 thousandths. Right there, and we're going to feed across. The slot's gotta be 345 thousandths deep, so this is gonna take a while. I don't want to break that end mill. That's the last 2-foot 1/8" end mill I have. Alright, this should be the last pass right here. Cut here, and then I gotta check the slot for width. And I'll have to offset each direction until I get it the right width. It needs to be 128 thousandths wide. Yeah, we'll blow this off here and I'll See if I can get a measurement on it. All right, let's see what we measure here. 128 right there. Okay, this part can come out of the mill now, and the rest of the work will be done on the lathe. Okay, let's start doing some turning here. Turn everything on. Slow the feed down here a little bit. And we just about got it cleaned up. Okay, this has got to come down to a diameter of 312 thousandths. And I'm at 458 right now. So we got a little ways to go. got 8 thousandths to go here. Let's get that dialed in. 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. Okay. I'm just going to check it across here on the end because that's got to get turned down further anyway. Just double check. $312 right there. Okay. I'm a couple tenths under 312. About 2 tenths under. So, okay, this end here has got to get turned down to 270. See where we're at here. Right there. Actually, we're not. That's 275. We got to take. We got to take thousandth and a half. Okay. We're up a half a thou. I don't think I can. I'm just gonna make. I'm just make another pass of it, see where it ends up. right there. Okay, now I got to get a tool. I got to put a thread relief in here. Then I got to thread this for 5/16, 28, I believe. Didn't it? Okay. I found a 48 thousandths wide tool here I could use, make that thread relief. And I'm going to put a mark on here so I can see when I touch off. Put some Sharpie on there. And I'm going to go 35 thousandths deep. Right there. Okay, this portion here gets threaded to 5/16, 24. All right, let's part this off. Okay, I'll dress up the back of that, and then that part will be done. Put some little chamfers on there. All right, I have the timing lever in the chuck. It's running pretty true. I used a couple parallels in behind it, try to true it up the best as possible. And I need to trim this almost flush with the back of the arm here. This boss here has got to be almost flush here. Then I have to flip it around, and I need to turn it to a thickness of 1/88. Make sure all this is going to clear. It looks like it will. Yeah, it looks okay. All right. We got probably another 20 thousandths at least. It's got to come off of there. Back this up a little bit. I'll just touch this arm here. Yeah, looks like I got to take 40 thou off. Getting pretty close. Pretty close to my chuck jaws too. Yeah, I'm just about touching the back of the arm here. So I'm going to stop there. Now I got to flip this part around, and I need to machine it to a thickness of 1/88. Well, I had to put a 1/4-inch piece of high-speed steel in here to cut this, because I need to clear this part of the arm right here, and it looks like that'll work. All right. I'm going to slow this down a little bit in case something bad happens. I don't think it will, but... Looks like my tool's got to come up a little bit. Yep. Raise this up a little bit here. All right. Put this back in neutral. Get a caliper here. See if I can get a measurement on this here. 223.5. All right, let's make another cut here. Put it back in gear. I got 35 thousandths that's got to come off of this. I'm at 194 and I gotta go 198 or 188. I'll take 5. See where we're at there now. That's it. I'm at 188.5. So now I need to drill and ream a hole through that. Okay. out of here. I'll slow this down a little bit here. Get some lube put on there. Okay. Now I got to get a collet in so I can spot face that with an end mill. Okay. I'll try not to bump the camera here. I got to come down till I just touch, and I need to spot face it till it's an 1/8 inch thick. It's at 175 right now, so I got to take 50 thousandths off. Forgot to turn the camera on. Here's my spot face surface here. This is going to be for the ignition stud that's going to ride on the timing gear. So I believe this part is done. Now I'm going to start working on the timing gear itself. Alright, I'm going to start machining this timing gear. This outer edge right here needs to get turned down to 750 thousandths. And what I did is I Loctited a pin in the bore. I found a pin that just slid in, put a little Loctite on it and let it sit. So now we're going to start machining it. This boss right here currently is 1.25 inches, so I got a 1/2 inch of material to come off of there. We got 46.5 to go. 46.5 thousandths to go. Check it again here. Yeah, we got 7.5 to go. Okay, so I got to take 125 thousandths off this face right here in depth, which is an 1/8 inch. So I got to turn it to about here. Okay, I'm going to take a little propane torch, heat this up, get this off that shaft, and then I can bore it. Okay, I got that pin out, and now I got it in a 3/4 collet chuck, 3/4 collet mounted on a collet chuck, and I'm going to drill it to, what is that, 31/64. Now I'm going to ream it to 1/2 inch. Just like that. Here, and I need to ream that to 3/32. Need to ream it to 3/32. Then I need to take a 3/8 M mill. I need to spot face this down to 1/2 inch. Not spot face it down to 1/2 inch, 1/8 inch. Yeah, that looks good. Now, get my reamer here. Dumped it, knocked it in the T-slot groove. I gotta get it out. Slow this down a little bit. Looks good. Okay. All right, I'm machining the groove for the push rod here now, and I got to come down 125 thousandths. I got to step over 31 thou each direction. Okay, I offset 31 thousandths in that direction now. And we're going to cut both these pads, and we got to go 31 thou the other direction. well, my push rod fits. And well, I got this off the mill, and here's the push rod. It fits in there. I made these brass plates here that retain the push rod. And right back here is the roller that's going to ride on the camshaft. This is the lockout bar here, and the timing lever that I machined. I thought I might have to notch the push rod to clear the spark plug, but the spark plug goes right in and out. I'm not going to have to do that at all. So the next thing on the list is going to be machining the camshaft. That's going to get mounted to this gear right here. It's going to fit right back in there. Let me get something to point with here. It's going to fit right back in here on this bushing, and so that's going to be the next, coming up next. Well, that's going to bring this part to a close. I'm going to be machining the camshaft for it next. So I hope everybody's having a great day, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.